Hello everyone, are you ready for another anime recap? Then subscribe right now to this Anime Plots YouTube channel and watch this full video. Did you subscribe? Okay, let's start the video. Lloyd pondering about Yor's late arrival home as Anya and Bond play with each other. When Yor arrives home, Lloyd notices her gloomy demeanor and flesh wounds. The next day, Yor visits Camilla's house to learn how to cook and Camilla and Dominic greet Yor. Yuri arrives as taste tester. Yor tells him not to let Lloyd and Anya know that she's trying to get better at cooking. Yor finishes her first dish and Camilla and Dominic insist that Yuri test the meal. Yuri pretends to like the meal even though Camilla sees him throwing it up. Camilla asks Yor and Yuri to recall a meal their mother made for them. Yuri tells Yor to try making the fried egg stew their mother used to make. Yor prepares the meal and Camilla tests the stew and says it's not bad and Yor gains some confidence. Yor informs him and Anya that she had Camilla teach her how to cook. Lloyd and Anya taste the fried egg stew and find it delicious. Henderson tasks the students with making 3D animal objects out of the provided materials. Henderson announces that Damien and Anya will be in the same group. Anya plans to create a cool-looking Bond figure to show off to Damien. Anya passes her Bond sculpture to Damien and says its name is Bond. Damien asks her if she's into naming garbage, causing Anya to feel slightly depressed. Damien reveals to his friend that he's making a griffin that resembles his family's crest. Anya presents him with poorly made feathers, enraging him. He calls Anya useless, causing her to cry. Henderson yells at Damien for his poor behavior. Damien tears up because he wants to impress his father. At night, Damien calls his butler, Jeeves, and asks if he had told Desmond about his orientation, and Jeeves said his father was worried about his health. Damien doesn't buy it and hangs up the phone. Henderson announces to the students that their midterm examinations will start in a week. He confirms that there are 4 subjects. Students who pass will receive Stella Stars, while those that fail will receive Tonitrus Bolts. Anya devises a scheme to read Damien's mind during history exams to obtain excellent scores. Her mind-reading ability disappears on the day the moon goes away. She realizes this event will occur when the exams begin, so she can't cheat on the tests. Yuri arrives. Anya introduces herself to Yuri, who isn't pleased to meet her because she's Lloyd's kid. Yuri and Anya begin their study session. Yuri gives Anya a motivational speech to inspire her. Unfortunately, after another failed attempt, Yuri calls it quits. Meanwhile, Lloyd sits atop one of the school's roofs. He plans to infiltrate the safe room and forge Anya's test results to prevent her expulsion via Tonitrus Bolts. Suddenly, Lloyd spies a suspicious man, who named Daybreak to alter a specific student's answer sheet. Daybreak performs creative stunts and manages to swing by the guards, shocking Lloyd. The guard protecting the room notices him. He informs Daybreak that he can't enter this area without an ID. Lloyd saves Daybreak by telling the guard he dropped his ID luckily. At the safe, Daybreak forgets the passcode. He tells Lloyd that he needs to use the restroom before Lloyd enters the safe room. Daybreak jets behind him and knocks him out. While Daybreak searches for his assigned students' files, Lloyd monitors him. He pretended to look unconscious because he felt it would be safe to carry out his task after Daybreak completed his. Lloyd notices that Daybreak altered the Desmond brothers' grades into failing grades. He ponders if Daybreak's client is a business rival or enemy of Desmond's. Lloyd re-alters their grades because it had threatened Operation Strix if they got expelled. Lloyd recounts how intelligent both brothers are and eventually finds Anya's test sheet. Henderson announcing his class's social studies assignment. The students must research occupations that interest them. At home, Anya asks Yor about her job, puzzling Yor. She doesn't know whether to tell Anya about her clerk or assassin job. Knowing about this through her telepathic powers, Anya says she'll do her report on Lloyd's work. 2 days pass and Lloyd shows Anya his workplace at the hospital psychiatry department. Lloyd puts on a lab coat and they head for his office. Anya asks Lloyd why he pursued this career. Lloyd says he wanted to help people defeat their illnesses and said it was a decision he made in college. However, Lloyd's true intentions are for Desmond to get sick and enter his office seeking help. Anya meets Lloyd's colleagues and they are how happy they are to be working alongside him. Lloyd suggests calling Yor to pick Anya up, but Anya wants to monitor his work until completion. Lloyd receives a knock from a possible wise agent. He takes out a box of sand for Anya to play with and warns her not to touch anything. He departs and Anya finds a lever that reveals the secret passageway behind the bookshelf. A ceiling vent allows Anya to spy on a group of hospital workers discussing rumors about deadly ghosts in the hospital. Anya attempts to leave but gets trapped under a pipe. She makes loud noises, startling the workers. She breaks free, returns to the consultation room, and pretends to be playing with the sandbox. Lloyd enters and notices the pile of toys injected into the sandbox. Lloyd pieces together that this could mean Anya's under immense stress due to her former orphanage days. Handler hands a document to a wise spy named Fiona Frost and sharing Lloyd's progress Operation Strix's progress. Her code name is Nightfall and has ambitions. Someone rings the doorbell and she answers to find Fiona standing in front of it. Fiona introduces herself as Lloyd's colleague and hands Yor Anya's magnifying glass back since she left it at the hospital. Yor asks Fiona if Fiona would like to come in and wait for Lloyd to return from walking bond with Anya. She accepts the offer and receives some tea from Yor. In her mind, Fiona plans to steal Yor's wife's role from her while Yor's nervous as she doesn't know how to handle a guest without Lloyd's help. When Yor admits to lacking in her relationship with Lloyd, Fiona tries steering the conversation into dramatic territory. However, she stops when Anya, Lloyd, and Bond return. Fiona and Lloyd discuss their deeper spy plans through coded conversation tactics. Anya uses her mind-reading powers and realizes Fiona's a spy like Lloyd. Upon closer inspection, Anya discovers that Fiona has a crush on Lloyd. Fiona announces her departure and leaves. Later day, Fiona hands Lloyd a document for their collaborative case. It involves them stealing a painting from a man named Cavi Campbell called Lady in the Sun. It once belonged to Eric Zacharias, who worked in the East's Military Intelligence Division during the war and is rumored to contain information about East-West human experimentation on prisoners of war and massacres. They hope to obtain the dossier before the Eastern government learns of its existence. As Fiona's plan, they goes to an underground tennis court where a doubles match wraps up. Many people in the crowd complain after losing money they wagered. Lloyd and Fiona show up to the tournament in disguises and to participating in the events. Fiona highlights how Campbell and the club organizers sponsor this underground tennis tournament. The champion receives an item from Campbell's collection as their prize. Winning the competition is their best option since it'll allow them to steal the painting. Meanwhile, Yor, Anya, and Bond are playing tennis at the park, and Yor ponders if Lloyd's playing tennis with Fiona since he told her he'll be competing in a competition. Fiona confirms that this tennis tournament allows cheating and that these men must have used some steroids. The Boric brothers intimidate Lloyd, infuriating Fiona. We cut to the match's conclusion, and it appears that Fiona's anger allowed her and Lloyd to score a flawless victory over the Boric pair. The client who hired the Boric pair is shocked by the result. Lloyd dwells on the fact that they'll be playing against Mr. Campbell's high school children, who have been receiving elite tennis training since early childhood in the finals. Fiona argues they shouldn't worry about them as they're guaranteed to win. The Campbell children are infuriated with Lloyd and Fiona's skill level. Lloyd compliments Fiona's tennis skills as she smiles. To Mr. Campbell's displeasure, Lloyd and Fiona win the tournament. One of Mr. Campbell's men whispers something into his ear as Lloyd and Fiona ask for the Lady in the Sun painting as their prize. Mr. Campbell says they cannot have that painting but offers to swap it with something else. Fiona explains that Lloyd had to leave for a moment because of his hangover. Fiona checks her bag and overhears Mr. Campbell discussing that someone is coming in 10 minutes to retrieve the Lady in the Sun painting. Fiona and Lloyd, who is now disguised as one of Mr. Campbell's men, head to their vehicle. Lloyd removes his disguise and reveals that he stole the Lady in the Sun painting. He pulled it off because Fiona had a fake copy of it in her bag, and she left it in the room for Lloyd was under disguise to successfully swap it. Fiona drops Lloyd off at the park, where Anya, Yor, and Bond are playing together. Fiona challenges Yor to a one-on-one tennis match. Yor throws the ball into the air and swings. It falls to the ground. Seconds later, the ball shatters into bite-sized pieces. Anya sends Bond to give Yor another ball. Yor promises herself not to use too much strength to hit the ball. Yor serves the ball, and Fiona's bewildered by its intense speed and power. Her efforts are thwarted when her racket breaks from the ball's intense speed. Fiona tells Yor she admits defeat but asks for a revenge match sometime in the future. Yor wandering the streets looking depressed. She feels that Lloyd doesn't find her good enough. Lloyd overhears some of his neighbors' gossip about the possibility that Lloyd might have an affair with another woman. Lloyd takes Yor to his favorite bar to discuss things. Yor has problems telling Lloyd how she feels, so she gulps her entire beverage in one sitting. While drunk, Yor asks Lloyd if he loves Fiona, but Lloyd tells her to calm down. Lloyd tries using romantic tactics to calm Yor down, but this only embarrasses her and she kicks him across the bar. He awakens to Yor singing the same lullaby his mother sang to him. Yor reveals that the bartender chased them out for causing a scene. Lloyd and Yor talk things out and share an intimate moment together. Several parents attending Eden Academy's semi-annual Imperial Scholar event. This is where parents of former and current Imperial Scholar family members meet leading figures from multiple different businesses. Lloyd decides that it'd be best to meet up with Donovan Desmond as himself and to make preparations for the next event. Lloyd plans to follow Damien as he feels he might get a chance to meet Donovan outside. Suddenly, Donovan arrives with his cronies and Lloyd confronts Donovan. He apologizes for Anya's dishonorable behavior toward Damien. He finishes his sentiment by claiming that child raising is a challenging task. Desmond praises Damien and asks him to continue to work hard and not bring shame to Desmond's name. Lloyd returns home to Yor, Anya, and Bond. Bond and Anya are fast asleep.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.